All right, good afternoon, and welcome to Oregon Dairy for the 109th Pennsylvania Farm Show theme reveal. My name is Sharon Myers, and I'm proud to be the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Farm Show Complex and Expo Center. The Farm Show team, led by the Department of Agriculture, is proudly planning this year's event that will again feature a vast variety of agricultural aspects. Hosting and planning the annual Farm Show is truly a gift. The Farm Show is Pennsylvania's state fair. We are the only state that holds its fair in the winter. Many of the competitions feature top winners from the 107 county and local fairs. Farm Show features the best of the best. If you are continuing the annual tradition of returning with your family and friends, or if this is your first visit, I'm certain the displays, vendors, competitive events, and the food will not disappoint. New in our food court this year will be the loaded baked potato, which I'm very excited about. A fun new exhibit this year is the mini Highlander cattle. These hairy friends are available for both petting and photo opportunities. The new turkey showmanship competition is sure to be a huge crowd pleaser. With nearly 80 youth currently raising turkeys, these youth will then display their abilities to show turkeys in the show ring, much like many of our other animal species. We are excited to be hosting a Women in Ag event on Wednesday, January 9th, where the featured speaker will be Temple Grandin. Much like Farm Show, there is no fee to enter this event, and tickets are not required. Our traditional exhibits will be returning: our Ag Explorers, honey extraction, rodeo, sheep to shawl, popular horse demonstrations, and thousands of competitive events with both animals and without animals. If you've not yet participated in one of our competitive events, I'd encourage you to visit our website or call our office to find out more, find something that interests you. You do not need to live on a farm to participate in Farm Show. We have events that range from coloring contests for all ages, photo contest, baking contest, fashion with a flair, and quilting, to name a few. Again, give us a shout if we can help you find a class that meets your interest. The 2025 Farm Show will be running January 4th to the 11th, with the popular food court opening on Friday, January 3rd at noon. There'll be no holiday for Farm Show this year. Farm Show staff and PDA employees will be working straight through to bring this great event to you. So we look forward to seeing you in January. Bring your family and your friends and come join us for a really great time learning all about Pennsylvania agriculture. Now I'd like to turn the podium over to Secretary Russell Redding.
Great. Sharon, thank you. Sharon, thank you. And you notice that she led with food, right? So no surprise there. Just want to say thank you to Sharon and Heidi and our friends from the Friends of the Farm Show, and I want to say how much we appreciate the partnership that we have with all of the ag community, particularly in Pennsylvania. It's a really great honor for us each year to host the Farm Show, and as I think back through history and what the industry has done and how it's transformed, and know that for 109 years that we have been able as a state to have a state-sponsored show that celebrates the very best of Pennsylvania and the very best of Pennsylvania agriculture. It's a real honor for us to host this show. So happy to do it, even happier to be here in a barn. I often sort of stop and just look around each time that I'm in an old barn that's been transformed, that's taken on new life and new meaning, right? But you look at the craftsmanship, you look at the history, you think about who was here and what was happening on this farm and in this place. And I'm guessing that this barn is probably as old as the Pennsylvania Farm Show itself and how it's transformed, right? I think that's part of the story of what we want to tell and what we'll reveal here today. In addition to our friends at the Farm Show, I want to acknowledge our Deputy Secretary, Lisa Graybill from Lancaster County, and is here and oversees really complex pieces of our department, from animal health and food safety. And speaking of complexes, the Farm Show complex as well, and the Farm Show. So Lisa, thank you for being part of the team. And certainly everything that we do involves a partnership with others. And we are pleased to have supporters, particularly here in Lancaster County and the state legislature. I want to say thank you to Senator Ahmed. He's not here, but Rebecca is here from his office, and Representative Benser, thank you for always being supportive of agriculture when we come with appropriation requests and the needs of the department and agriculture. It's good to see you as well. To our host family, you'll hear from Maria in a moment, but always want to take a moment and say thank you to Maria and the extended family here. You'll hear more about the journey of this farm, but each time that I'm here, and I've been privileged over the years to be step foot on this land and this farm, and have watched it from a distance, and really proud of the family. You know, they have kept the family together, have extended the business, and been creative and innovative, and thinking all the time about how do we keep this farm in agriculture, keep the family connected, and maintain this sort of community, the sense of community here at Oregon Dairy. So a note of thanks to you, and look forward to your remarks as well. But they have been on a journey. I think that's part of the story of their farm and the story of Pennsylvania and Pennsylvania agriculture, right? It's been on a journey. It has been on a path of change for 225, 30 years, right? It's been on a path of change in the Farm Show for 109 years, and we're very proud of that. You will see how sustainability, how innovation, how the markets have changed, how the people and consumer, each of us, and our expectations of this food system have changed. That is all captured in what they are doing here at Oregon Dairy, but also what we try to capture in the four walls of the Pennsylvania Farm Show. There is a reason we call it 1 million square feet of classroom, right? You get a chance to really look around and see what's happened to the industry. You get a chance to talk to the folks who are in this business every day. We'll hear from Maria, who is one of 49,000 farms in the state, but every single one of them can tell a story about the journey that they've been on and the changes that have occurred, that they've responded to, and quite frankly have had to respond to remain relevant and you know, really vibrant part of Pennsylvania. But we do this in a full partnership with many across the state. We're here on a farm, but just to sort of think about all of the other partners that are part of Pennsylvania agriculture, right? It's the things that we think of as traditional agriculture, but then it's all of the others. It's the veterinarians, it's the feed mills, it's the retailers, it's the processors, it's the folks who are doing logistics, it's the scientists. That is all part of what we want you to see and the public to see when they step foot into the Farm Show. But agriculture is at the center of so much of our daily lives. It's the obvious things that are on our plates and the less obvious. It's what's on the landscape. It is part of this community. We see it right here at Oregon Dairy. It touches every region of our state. It is part of our heritage and certainly a part of our future. It is part of our culture and part of the critical piece of who we are and our collective sort of future. And that will be captured in our theme, but it's also captured during the week of Farm Show. So to the reason we're here, the Farm Show theme reveal. I'm pleased this year to, and I'll ask folks, the whole team here to help us, the Secretary and Maria, just join around, please. This year's theme for the 2025 Farm Show is Powering Pennsylvania. Drum roll. Thank you.
All right.
So, thank you. So just as power, as a power source for our homes, we need it. We have a power source for our machinery and engines. Agriculture powers Pennsylvania. It's in every region of the state. It is part of what fosters innovation. It is part of what is in our resilience and our stewardship. This theme celebrates the food and agricultural products that nourish us and our communities, helping us power through our days and live healthy, successful lives. This theme embodies the ingenuity and the collaborative spirit of Pennsylvania agriculture. It recognizes the unity of our farmers, our food processors, certainly our producers and policymakers and consumers in the shared commitment to harness this agricultural force that sustains and enriches our Keystone State. I'm excited to celebrate with you this theme, to bring to life what Pennsylvania agriculture is and how we're powering Pennsylvania. So it's my pleasure to have Maria join us here, as I've noted, host today and one of the owners in this family, but always inspired by what she does, what she has done and continues to do, and she is part of the power of this Oregon Dairy. So welcome, Maria. Thank you for hosting us. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Redding. It's always a pleasure, privilege to have you here and to see your familiar face.
Thank you.
It's also a privilege to be a part of a family business that began almost 50 years ago when my dad, George, and my grandparents, Earl and Mary Hurst, made the decision to become involved in the community by opening a small store where they could process the milk from their herd of cows and sell it directly to the customers. The small store, it didn't stay small very long. It grew into a full-line grocery store and a restaurant owned by my dad and six of my uncles. There were 10 children total, 6 of my uncles and my dad. They were providing fresh food and milk to the community, and it was a priority back in the 1970s when they began, and that is still a priority today that has not changed. My family, we're part of 2% of the population involved in agricultural production. We had the great opportunity, since we are on a farm, to allow others to understand where their food comes from, in particular in our case with milk being a dairy farm, and how we care for the land and the animals. Opening our farm to thousands of guests annually who visit us for a farm tour, to get lost in the cornfield during the corn maze, which is out behind me, to take a Barnyard Express train ride to see the farm, or experience the beauty of sunflowers and pumpkins. It provides not only an opportunity to understand where their food comes from, but it's also a place to provide fun for their families and their friends to come and just enjoy time out on the farm and create memories to hopefully last a lifetime. We help power Pennsylvania by providing not only food, but also food production knowledge, which in turn hopefully empowers people to make wise food choices as they understand where their food comes from. Even though Oregon Dairy has changed over the years, and it's grown, at our foundation, it started as a dairy farm, and we're still a dairy farm, producing milk, but beyond that, we also produce electricity, the power of poop. We are producing it by using our cow manure to run a methane digester. So I like that I don't have an electric bill, and our farm does not. So my dad was ahead of the green energy movement because he built the methane digester back in 1985, before green energy was even a buzzword. And then it was over 10 years ago that we wanted to expand on our green energy, and so solar panels were added to the roof of the market to help meet more of our energy needs. Here we are. We are months away from Oregon Dairy's 50th anniversary, celebrating the legacy of my grandparents, parents, uncles, and aunts. The third and fourth generation of the Hurst family now have the honor to continue to care for the land and animals, provide fresh food and milk, help people understand where their food comes from, open our farm to allow guests the opportunity to experience the beauty of a farm and to build memories. In these ways, we are part of the thousands of farm families powering Pennsylvania. And now, I would like to welcome Secretary Rick Seiger from DCED.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Good, thanks.
Thanks. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having me. What an honor to be here. This is my first farm show reveal. I'm honored to share the podium today with Maria, with Erica, who you'll hear from in a second. And of course, my favorite events, don't tell any of our other colleagues, are events with you, Secretary Redding. Great to be here today. I just will say 1 minute about Secretary Redding. This guy gets it, right? He really understands how agriculture fuels our economy. He's an amazing partner to me and to our team, and I'm really proud to work alongside you. I also want to give a quick shout out to one of our deputy secretaries at DCD, Jennifer Gilbert, who's here. She lives down the road, so we said, hey, come on, have some fun here in Lidditz. The theme of the farm show, right, Powering Pennsylvania, really is so fitting. And as you heard Secretary Redding say, agriculture is really a central part of Pennsylvania's way of life. And thanks to farmers, agriculture is really the reason we have food on our tables and in our grocery stores and at our restaurants. But I want to be clear that agriculture is also the foundation of Pennsylvania's economy. It contributes more than $132 billion to our economy every year and employs over 600,000 Pennsylvanians. Agriculture spans multiple sectors beyond just farming. It includes hardwood manufacturing, food and beverage production, and the development of new technology to keep this industry surging forward. That's why agriculture is one of the 5 key industries we're focused on in Pennsylvania's 10-year economic development strategy. We know it's one of our greatest strengths, and we're committed to doubling down at the state level to support the growth and innovation in our agriculture industry. And in many ways, and you heard Secretary Redding touch on this, we're really at the intersection of tradition and innovation. And our Commonwealth is at the forefront of developing and implementing the latest technology solutions to optimize yields, reduce negative environmental impacts, and increase energy efficiency. We have robotics and autonomous vehicles and pioneering AI, focused on farming techniques. We have an interest in agritourism, which is a bigger and bigger part of people's desires to get out, relax, and get away, and visit Pennsylvania on the Great American Getaway. That's what we mean when we say agriculture is powering Pennsylvania. And the Farm Show, the premier event of its kind in the country, and definitely the premier event for my 3-year-old in the country, is the perfect place to showcase our agricultural strength. People come from all over Pennsylvania, really all over the country, to have fun with friends and family, to eat great food, to see animals, and experience everything the Farm Show has to offer. And in January, between milkshakes and sort of fried basically everything, visitors can see for themselves why Pennsylvania leads the country in agriculture. You know, as I wrap up here, I just want to say, through initiatives like the Farm Bill that Secretary Redding championed, the recent $10 million Agricultural Innovation Grant Program that Governor Shapiro championed and secured in his most recent budget, we're focused on agriculture, focused on our farmers, our food workers, and our innovators. The Farm Show is really an incredible opportunity to showcase their progress alongside everything Pennsylvania agriculture has to offer to visitors and to Pennsylvanians alike. My family and I cannot wait to visit the Farm Show in 2025, and I know visitors from near and far will enjoy learning far more about how agriculture is powering Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for having me here today, Secretary.
Nice, thank you.
And is now, for the first time in my life, at least the opportunity to announce a Pennsylvania Fair Queen. Erica Teagarden, please, take it away.
Good.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am so excited to have the opportunity to speak with you all today. I have been involved in the Farm Show for the last few years as a member of the Pennsylvania Farm Show Junior Committee. I started my senior year of high school in 2022 on the committee as one of the youngest members, and then I also had the opportunity to be on it in 2023 and then this past Farm Show 2024. I have gotten to see the ins and the outs of the Farm Show, all of the work that goes in months beforehand and even months afterwards. I've gotten to be involved in ways I never imagined and had opportunities I have been blessed to have. This summer, I got to tour many of our Pennsylvania fairs as the Fair Queen, and later this afternoon I'll be at another one. But I have seen so many unique fairs and so many different aspects that we have at the Farm Show. From our hay and grain exhibit, the handmade quilts, of course the homemade apple pies, the delicious food we all love to talk about and eat, animals, and even a carousel. They share those characteristics, and they also share one more thing, which is the passionate people that are involved, from employees to exhibitors to junior committee members like me. We all have a passion for the Farm Show, for showing up every year, helping out in every way that we can, and seeing all that hard work pay off during those days is amazing. I have been so blessed to be involved. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be here today, and I just want to say thank you to my farm show family that I have got to make over the past 3 years and this next final year that I have on the committee. And thank you to everyone who has impacted me. Thank you.
Nice. Great job. Yeah, thank you. Stay right here. Erica, thank you. Thanks for inspiring us. Thank you for spending a year of your life sort of traveling Pennsylvania and celebrating our counties and the 107 county community fairs across the state. And I say often that, if you look at Pennsylvania, we've got this beautiful sort of mosaic of fairs and reminds me of a quilt, right? And you stitch those little pieces together and pull it in. You've got this wonderful quilt and view of Pennsylvania, right? I've got a quilt in my office that the Fair Association gave me a couple of years ago. And every time I look at it, I'm just sort of amazed that all of these years on, that we can have fairs like Washington County that are 225 years, and you'll celebrate one this afternoon with Lampeter at 100. But all of that fair activity, there would not be a farm show if we did not have our community and county fairs, right? We have this state fair farm show in January, that's history, but it's also both a capstone to a year and a launch of a new one. And that's the beauty of the farm show. This year, we'll bring everybody back together. We'll power Pennsylvania. We'll talk about it in all of its forms, from poop, right, as we're powering, to all of the great food and everything that sort of comes to be as a result of having a really vibrant agricultural economy in the state. That's what the farm show allows us to do, to tell the story of Oregon Dairy, as you heard from Maria, to tell the story of first-generation farmers and 10th-generation farmers in the state, to take us places that most folks will never get a chance to go. We try to bring that into the complex for a week, to sort of reveal to Pennsylvanians what it is that we have here, what we appreciate about the industry that is both important to our journey of history, but we believe strongly it is critical to the future. That innovation, we talk about it every day, but the things that we enjoy is a product of innovation. And the innovators are those that we celebrate. The innovators are those that we'll highlight. We'll see them in the show rings. We'll see them in the food court. All of the aisles will be full of people who have done things or doing things that we want to celebrate and hold up as part of the very, very best of Pennsylvania and Pennsylvania Farm Show, but also are a key piece of powering Pennsylvania. So thank you for being here. Thank you to Maria and the Oregon Dairy team for hosting us, to Erica for spending a year in this life, but also working on our junior committee at the Farm Show. And certainly want to say thank you to our partner at DCED, Secretary Siger. And it's just been such a refreshing sort of journey with Governor Shapiro and Secretary Siger to think about what agriculture can be. And that's what you see inside of the state strategy. We're pleased and proud to be one of the 5 pillars, along with robotics and manufacturing and energy and manufacturing. All of that is part of what makes agriculture work. It is part of what powers Pennsylvania. We'll celebrate that. So to do that in full partnership with Secretary Siger and his team, and of course to have a management team that spends 365 days worrying about Farm Show, Sharon and Heidi, thank you, and to Lisa for guiding those efforts. And again, want to acknowledge that we cannot do this without the full support of many in the state, but particularly Bill Piper and Jerry Reichert, who are here today as friends of the Farm Show Foundation, who have contributed well over $1 million. I usually get the number wrong, but to say it's significant because they allow us to do things in the complex. So look forward to seeing you at the 2025 Pennsylvania Farm Show, and we'll continue to powering Pennsylvania. Thank you.